Food poisoning, toothache. Are you suffering with any of these things? Do you know anybody that's suffering with an insect bite, with a skin infection, any type of stomach upset, any type of mild allergic reaction? We may have just the home remedy that you've been looking for. So don't go anywhere. Make sure that you stay tuned. Hi, I'm Danella Taylor, and you're watching God's Pharmacy. Today, I'm going to share with you a small secret, worldwide known, but still so few people are wondering about black gold. Have you ever heard about black gold, otherwise known as activated charcoal? And this is what we're talking about today, the wonders of this small black powder that can do so many different things. Activated charcoal. Now, what is activated charcoal? Charcoal occurs when wood is burned without oxygen. And there's a whole other process that goes through actually making charcoal. But we're not just talking about the charcoal that you buy from the store to grill your barbecue over. We're talking about a very specific type of charcoal that has been put under deep steam pressure so that its ability to draw out substances has been maximized times 10 than the normal charcoal that would occur from burning wood. Activated charcoal. And let me give you a little secret actually. Burning coconut shells, even when it's not activated, when that is turned into charcoal, is almost just as potent. So for any of you who are watching this, who are in a place where you can find dry coconut shells and you can turn that into charcoal, it's almost as good as that activation process that the normal charcoal wood goes through to produce this black gold. Now, what is charcoal? What is it good for and what is it used for? Charcoal comes in a few different forms. We have here powdered activated charcoal, but you can also get this in tablet form, and you can actually make your own tablets just by putting a binder in and having it dehydrated and left in the oven and chopping up small. And so that's the way that you can economize. And you can also get it in the capsule form, so that is charcoal put into capsules so you can take it internally. Charcoal is one of the most potent substances in this world to draw out toxins. It's a detoxifier. And many things are used to absorb, which means they take in a substance and they bring it into themselves. But the beauty about charcoal is that it doesn't absorb AB, it adsorbs AD. And adsorb means that it can attach a substance to itself, take it out of whatever it is in, but it doesn't come into the charcoal. So the charcoal is never changed in its substance. The charcoal itself is never changed, and that's why I'm going to show you today a couple of different ways to use charcoal, and sometimes those ways can be reused because the charcoal is not affected. However, it still remains effective in its ability to draw out substances. In fact, charcoal is what is used for food poisoning and also for overdoses and for drug poisoning. Worldwide, medically, if somebody has taken an overdose, they will often use charcoal to pump out those substances from the body because it's so potent. If there's something going wrong internally, you can apply charcoal externally, and the power of the charcoal to draw out those substances will actually go through the skin barrier, and they'll be able to take out the toxins from externally internally. You can also take charcoal internally for different upsets, and if you've drank something accidentally that is not agreeing with you or you need to come out of your system, charcoal can be used for all of these different things. And so we're going to show you a few different ways that you can use charcoal, simple home remedies, and once you know them, make sure that you tell other people because it's the best kept but one of the most powerful secrets in the world, the beauty of black gold. First, we're going to talk about a charcoal poultice. A charcoal poultice is where we're going to mix the charcoal powder with a binder, and we're going to apply it to the skin area, wherever there is a problem, wherever something needs to be drawn out, or wherever there is an inflammation that needs to be decreased. We're going to spread out the charcoal, which has a binder, And the binder can be many different things. Today, we're going to be using flax powder, which is just ground up flax seeds. But you can use many different things. Some people have used cornstarch, you can use psyllium husk, or you can use even ground up oats, and those things can turn into a binder. Anything that when you add water it becomes jelly-like can act as a binder. Remember, charcoal is so powerful that none of these things can affect the charcoal, and so we just want to use something to bind it together and hold it together. And what we're going to do with that poultice, once it's made and spread out, it will be applied onto the affected area, whether it's the affected area on the skin or whether there's affected area internally, and we're going to apply the charcoal externally to draw out those toxins. 1 tablespoonful of flaxseed, 1 tablespoonful of charcoal. Now charcoal again is very powdery, so when transferring from one container to the other, we want to make sure that we don't get the charcoal everywhere or in the air. Mix together the flax and the charcoal. You see I'm using a deep bowl. Then I'm going to add water a little bit at a time until the charcoal and flax comes together in a paste. But you want to avoid adding too much water because we don't want a soupy poultice. You can see all of it coming together beautifully in that bowl. That is exactly the consistency that we're looking for. I prepared it by folding the corners of the paper towel so that I know where the spreading ends. When you spread it nice and evenly, you're ready to fold over. And apply. Second, today we're going to talk about charcoal slurry water. Now this is where we add charcoal to water, and if something is going drastically wrong inside, like you're having chronic food poisoning, you may just want to take maybe a teaspoon of charcoal, mix it with water and just drink that. But if there is a stomach upset, especially if you're dealing with younger people, charcoal can have a binding effect on the inside, and so you don't want to drink too much of it at any one time. And so by putting charcoal into the water, stirring it and then letting it sit for about an hour so that most of the sediments fall to the bottom, the water itself will still have enough of the charcoal in it. That's why it's called a slurry. The water is not black at this moment, but there are still charcoal particles floating around in the water, and just by drinking that, it will bring great relief and calm to the stomach of the affected person. This can also be used if somebody is having a mild allergy attack and there's nothing available at that time. Charcoal can be used to help to reduce the inflammation that is caused. It can have an antihistamine effect, and so you can use the slurry water for that purpose also. For slurry water, you're just going to take a spoon of charcoal and put it carefully in the bottom of a glass. You don't need that much charcoal, maybe about a teaspoon. I'm going to pour water carefully into the cup and mix together gently. You can drink this just like this, but for the effect of the slurry water, I'm going to add more water. Then I'm going to let this sit anywhere from 1 hour to 1 day. The more it sits is the more the sediments will fall to the bottom, and the water that's left on top you can drink freely, and it will help to expel some impurities in your system. I hope you enjoyed this episode of God's Pharmacy and that you were able to learn more about one of the best kept secrets of black gold. And I know that after watching this, you are not going to keep it a secret. I know that you're going to share this with your friends, with your families, because it's such an inexpensive and yet powerful and potent little substance to keep in any of your cabinets at home. For more information about charcoal, God's Pharmacy, produced by M.E.E.T Ministry, is available from meetministry.org. And in this book, you can find the very recipes that were spoken about today, as well as many other recipes and many other remedies that you can apply to any small home-like setting and that you can share with your families and friends. And for those of you who are just bursting to know more about charcoal and the wonderful way that this substance is used, there is another book here called charcoalremedies.com, which talks about many different ways that charcoal has been used, the effect, the results, and how you can use it as well. This is also available to order from meetministry.org. And so thank you so much for watching.